Employee experience has been a topic on our agenda for quite some time, and the pandemic massively accelerated this. And we have established it by connecting them digitally to our company, providing them with an opportunity to connect via an DPDHL employee app, which is the platform or the touch point to embed digital HR services or non-HR services for the first time.
I think that there is an incredible increase in the feeling of loyalty and allegiance to the company by trying to personalize the employee experience, letting people know that you really care. We've developed a lot of goodwill from all of our efforts to make sure our employees are well taken care of, with the focus on making sure that people continue to feel connected even though they're working remotely.
We focus on metrics like turnover, engagement, even like workplace incidents and unscheduled time off. And we've come up with a healthy culture index. And over the past 5 years, we've been spotlighting that index as a way to identify areas within the organization where our experience is strong and other areas where we can improve.
From the HR perspective, we have even better understood what the HCM, the Oracle platform, could bring to us. And now with this remote working, I think is one of our best tools.
We need to make sure we put the right bits of the policy in the right technology so the customer journey is seamless. And what we found is the product is perfectly flexible to give us those personalizations where they're needed, and they really enrich what a colleague does or how they interact with the platform. But at essence, we want to have that standard way of doing things.
We know that the skill gap is real. In 5 or 10 years, the industry and our company won't be the same. The number one thing that the current employees can do to succeed, I would say, learn how to learn.
We identify skill gaps with the performance evaluation cycle. So we have a really robust program that we have put together. And so we use that to determine whether or not there's a skill gap. And we primarily use our learning management system to address them. So we have content that we get from outside providers, as well as homegrown content that we use to upskill and to provide and fill those gaps. We're always looking for ways to be more efficient. And so we're being very innovative in how to integrate artificial intelligence and machine learning into our processes to allow us to address what we consider to be the changing nature of work.
Oracle offers great new services, Journeys or the digital assistant. And this would address skills we maybe don't have today at a large scale. This is what is driving us at the moment, getting the basics right, and at the same time try to identify the areas where we need to invest in our skills and invest in our approaches to be better. Absolutely.
So speaking for myself as opposed to Hearst, the vision for the future would be one where DEI is so embedded in the DNA of everything that we do that it doesn't feel like a separate initiative, that there's not a question ever whether or not you would have a diverse interview loop, whether or not you have enough diverse candidates, and it just becomes the new normal.
If you have an environment where people feel genuinely included and able to be themselves, they are likely to exhibit higher levels of well-being at work. Where you then have people with higher levels of well-being, you start to see more inclusive behaviors.
My vision is really centered around creating equity. Equity of opportunity, equity of access, equity of outcomes when it comes to all of our people across the world.
I think if we are most effective as diversity practitioners at driving diversity and embedding it throughout our respective organizations, there's no need for a diversity office. There's no need for diversity officers because it's so embedded in what we do on a day-to-day basis throughout our organizations.
Be obsessed about the basics and your data, which is underlying every single service you will produce from now on in the future.
Part of the job that I think I have in working with my HCM teams is to remind people that we've invested in an incredibly robust system that will allow them to do more than they think they can, if they just take the time to reach out and learn.
So what does your data tell you? What does your people data tell you? And what stories are your employees giving you?
We have a significant role in ensuring that we create a culture within our respective organizations that allows individuals to bring their full self to work. I don't have to leave who I am at home, but I have an opportunity to contribute to my organization by being who I am and bringing that aspect of who I am into the workplace.
I also encourage the DEI practitioners and allies to think beyond their company to society at large. When we tackle together systemic racism, institutionalized economic inequality, social issues, it lifts the whole tide, right, for all of us.
When decisions involve people, being human and humane is fundamental. Focus on the development of people, and your business results will come naturally.